Community Radio, voice of the Dangme people.
Nyemesonli nge Dangme jekewe radio ada Dangme FM ojine. Ngesi baminya inganye. Ka dromi ne monolibio ewo ne etro ne ekonebli. Yamike bamyome kra ononge. Ibuano kubonya ke o kam esu motukwala yomi kusumi nyane yako.
I am the station coordinator for Radio Ada, a community radio station in Ghana, specifically located at Ada. We serve the Dangme speaking people.
No nenengeno yange Israel ke Lebanon bi apetiti 3 Hezbollah atocholium we kone ayayena no Israel bi menyo adrato ni ne ewo keba ehane takpata.
My attempt is to essentially to make global issues meaningful to the local people. So that, for example, today one of the themes that is running through has to do with the Israeli-Lebanese conflict, which this week has resulted in increase in petrol fares and, for that matter, transportation fees. This is what is happening over there, but affects us directly so that they also understand what's going on at different places on the globe.
Jemami akaka bemi ko ebu adwe kokrakra lenche jine in room ne ekanumunyu ebu adwe sansansan here padio yini mini mabane ni akpata tane mahime eke maglubra to me pa mami yepino FM.
Radio Ada serve around 500,000 people. There are farmers and there are fishers over here. Before Radio Ada came on air, at the time, our language is not used by any other radio station. when you say Dangme people, one of the most striking features of the Dangme speaking people is their language. And this is the only radio station that is promoting language and culture. The community radio stations have a lot to do and a lot of skills to be built to support communal life.
Wabinye mla bioko pasi. Mondo heni nya ready adaya ji elavanyo. Le wanyemi yihine wakame maseni mondo ji yeme nye yi. Sho yemi me we nyala vanyo mano. Emini ji ni komenenga no yange mam. Alo nye hiami ni skomi. Alo ni komenenga nye kwa joy kange nye mam. Ne wa poche mke community listo. Nye mahane mambine anu. Gladys akoto. Mo te wo ngoni komenenga hu. Nge ala vanyone waye.
Yo, mwe ni chumi o first ne wa ngbe matin. Ne wa podun wa weji amo ke wala ke mumui. Se ma be kan je han ewie mi lo je han mo ndo. Wa bana sabola dumi wa ke ba pie. Sabola dumi o eji kan no ko ne wa jo ewuwe se da ne ke wa madun o de wa ya hiyo.
Kanye ma wo sabola kune wa sen sabola ni. Already ada masone nye dewo ke esube benye plon ke ho sabola ngo benye plon ke mani o benye pioni wo wali sabola ke kala wanale wa hiyo wa sange kam
sabola ngo ene pange amongu humi sabola ngo ama hu egbaja la ma pie line la ma podo na fi kele gbe o ma amadu but o ma wata na fi.
If we take some of our programming, there are some general programs for information. There are others that are specific, those that we consider to be narrow casting. We have the farmers doing their own program, fisher folk doing their own program, so that the broadcast is for a specific group that can be seen in so many villages, and so they are connected through the kind of economic activity that they do. Then another segment talks about the skills that are employed.
Wanaka hiomi hiange wa adapu panon. Hiomi ne mi hia. Enyala vanyo sabula duli. Nenye kedali bini ha sabula ni. Jenye na anyu keji.
Ajibuile.
Ajibuile. Kenye plon ke sanyu ke ko sabula no.
It is they themselves using the radio to share ideas, to raise concerns, to teach skills that they employ in their trade, and to tell others what successes they have been able to make as a result of the kind of work they do.
Community radio is radio which is established by the people for their own use, and for their own use for the social, economic, and cultural development of their own communities. My wife and I helping to start Radio Ada.
Access to radio, participation in radio, the ability to be a creator through the medium of radio can be considered to be a basic human right. And it is a particularly relevant right in communities such as we have in Ada, which are not only predominantly non-literate, but which are able and which have been able through generations to bring out their treasures, their indigenous wealth, their cultural wealth through oral tradition. Every community member is a potential producer.
I work with a team of people who help in the management of the station. We are all volunteers.
Voice of the Dangme people, Radio Ada. Anybody who is working here is seen as a very special person. So they also get what we call that in psychic reward. You also feel proud that they are working here. If you are thinking of wealth, you cannot work here. If you are thinking of coming to Radio Ada so that you can build a house, so that you can buy cars, it's not so. Because the people you are serving, they are poor.
Wakbilo kolo ines kama battery kolo ibi lo that way.
Should we add one? The school is in a community where they are fishing and farming community. When they are in the lead season, the parents don't get enough money for the children to cater for them, especially buying their school uniforms, sandals, exercise books, pen, and other things. They don't get money. Even what they eat becomes a problem. Hey. Go for it. Starting with class 6 first. Hurry up. The girls, most of them drop out because of teenage pregnancy. Formerly we were 58, 28, 86, P6. Formerly we were 14 and 9. We were 23, but now it has flopped to 18. We have a lot of dropouts. You see, the problem here is they didn't see any benefit in education since they are fisher folks. And then their work also needs people, a lot of people to drag the net. At times, about 30% or 40% of the enrollment will be at the beach. We adopted a mechanism to go there to catch them, feed them, but the parents became annoying. Why should you come and catch my child at the beach to come to school?
Because the parents are not literates, they don't go to school. So they don't see the reason why the children must also go to school. Radio Adam tell the parents that when the children go to school, they also grow well and be best people in the community, and then they have jobs. And if you have a job, you are not poor.
There's nothing in fish smoking. Mini locker from where on my feet. I will learn so.
The Dangme area of Ghana is amongst the most economically depressed part of this country. In our environment, where most of the people are illiterate, the printed material is not that relevant. But reaching the people by radio in their own language and getting them involved in designing and producing the programs themselves goes a long way. These are people who know what is good for them. So it's not always a question of somebody coming in with information from outside, but more important is giving them the opportunity to use what they already know, what they already have, to strengthen it, to enrich it, and use it to develop their own communities.
Whenever I visit some of the fishing or the farming communities, then a certain young girl, she said she will also one day come up like a program producer for Radio Adam. I asked her, why have you, she said, I'm also a woman and I'm producing program for Radio Adam. So she also one day, so I told her to learn hard. If she wanted to be like me, she should learn hard.
Joy, Jagan, and make me go. Nay, ye jig me, paging in no, or looking at the old liblo. Dangme paging in it. Oh, Jaman, chucking me a wawo. Jack pure been a baby, sir, a baby or pure baby. Your monga first week on Binay school. Akusumbo. What I do? I can't tell you. Oh, ili beni pia sani magbe wale sio. Eja ke me gbe. Eja da mo nyon ne tu. Ga o mi papale ine wuda. I was sick at 12. I couldn't go when I was sick at 3 me. Oh, watch one you. Watch one being a no madano jam. I come my yard, I come my ama probi. We have origins plenty today. The items are fishes,
oranges, rice, maize, palm nuts, palm oil, so on and so forth, etc. I will spend about 4 to 5 hours, from 8 to let's say 11:30, 12. Ne edika sejole giwasa sikewa kwani eji asafo tu soha le dwamino ni le pan la hun si dia pe nu ya to ni atogbe la ngan si dia pe ni ke si dia pe ni ato lo chuchu le dwami kan popoku sama banla bela nangma ma odoyi mona popoku one badwa ni si dia pe pa ni si dia pe ne ke si dia pe ni ma ni sama wa to na si dia pe ni ma ke si dia pe ni
radio ada e monyo to tin e ko nga wa yan ju ami jane kene ne mene lolio mekiko anyona blo keke bene apple ke wo bua wan mo
e bene ke bayo ke bena gbelu ke wai ke bena gbelu ke hisan emi wabo emi wase senaminga sisijio ke kan jua mi hihu nyumo mele kan jua mi hihawo le jua mi hihu nyumo me hu aliohi.
Formally, they will have to ask drivers what is available in market, what is selling, what is not selling, what is available where. Not only the drivers, but those who have returned from the market. But now that is answered through the radio.
Poverty, certainly, it's a much bigger problem than the gender problem in Ghana, and as is the case in most of Africa. Now, Radio Ada addresses both.
At the beginning, when Radio Ada started in 1998, when the fishmongers were asked what they wanted to include in their programs, what the content should be, they said they only wanted to talk about technical matters, how to select fresh fish, how to smoke the fish, how to take it to market, what the price of the fish is, etc. But 2 years later, they then said that they wanted to take it to another level, that beyond the technical level, they wanted to use the program to speak to their husbands.
Netoni jomne ba nyimine pe nyimi ne sihimio ne engo radio danje endo ne gawmi biosu gawlio menge hiyo Ishmael kome famati ngeyo
Michael kwabla otibo
Mami cha ine hiyo
radio dansi ne papa na hiwo ye minyoji ke okahunu nge lo ananyumo ne ke yonge wo lo numo lo bie nyumo samnyane lesio nyumo ma hyonkun ke beni yo eleska one ma ha le bi ada no nga edwem nya gba nyomi gamla lo ke ma mu ne ba pe
o je no mele na yin na to mo yo pe de nye pe e ko gbe bi no cho le ko le gba ya no nga gbe o ke de gbo ne ma yin sin se no lo do ma che we ku kenina la ma amaye chapi kana ko jona buno ko fo isi o ne atun ke ne ejo daga le hun ne ya woyo ne eko edomo we ke inga yo no hala with the advice program, most of the people that bring the advice are the female because traditionally they don't have a say. They don't have much say. Some of the women said, because of this, I wanted to commit suicide because of what my husband is doing. But because of your advice, I'm not going to do that again. Then they will come and thank us. No ko anwe no pema pema nyeche menye sana nye no wo le anwe no nkomonga ne mwa jama tomi ope ne bumi behi eko nga ne onyeselo e holo anwe yu onwo anwe ehun eko ngo ina makra nga yo ne ajonga se be funga yo ne jonga nyumo hele nge fa be ne nge kolone se wali se ko pa pepe no chon ano gbe ne wo hiyo e ja be wa na de chun ni o ina iwa pune ga ye ni le ma ga chuno.
Women here, they accept certain situations. Not because they like it, but because they are used to it. It is there.
Most of the letters that we receive comes from the illiterates. What they do is that they get the school children or some other literates to write the letters for them. Some people, they have the problem, but they don't get anybody to write it for them. Then what we normally do is that the advice to Radio Ada, you see, you may be having the same problem. So as we are giving advice to somebody with similar listening, you also receive your answer.
Eko ne le ibutuyo abe ne nyumu ka yo hisi ne sa ne nyumu ne wayo ne akaye abimi ne nyumu wayo we olo eko nga iblo fam leke ha be ne nyumu ka yo mahisi ne nyumu mahayo sika.
You know, we are polygamous. It's a gender issue. A woman is feeling cheated, so she wants somebody to help her out.
Bene ike wange wajesi fesio le ino pepio inge pepepe se ka je bene ke ba ngoyo me ke ba ta hino ke ichaki nkolo bo le ne le wenge hikma na munge hikma ili mi ka ebu otilo
atinala no pion yo awon ga ko no ko like wa de ko first ne ebio arefe bio okay ni chuminga yoko ku chunu ba gon amo agwajo wa we
be nga ye mikrofon e ja kan ne pansa na milinga no je ne le wo ko ke bo ye mikri ba fun loko je ye bo abajo yi.
But then there is a change. Now there are certain girls who would not go in to be a second wife. No. You see, there is a change, but it is slow. Until everybody is educated, until everybody gets a job, then things will change.
The fishermen are responding in small but very definite ways to the issues raised by the women. So what they may not be able to talk about face-to-face in their homes, at least initially, they are able to talk about through the programs, and the programs open the way for dialogue on a face-to-face basis. So with time, we hope, and with more work on the ground, with more interaction, this change, we hope, will go towards a direction where the voiceless will become more voiced in a way that everyone will feel is equitable.
The men are now listening to their wives because the man did not want the issue broadcast. And so the question was posed. If you didn't want such an issue to come on air, what could you have done? What we do here is also some form of mediation. It is work in progress.
Today is one of our consultation days normally within a period of 2 years, we do consultation.
Yehemanye, kekeke mana nyesi. Kan wachenye nge benomi ne wange yomi bloye ne wangoni kumeke wablen to kume radio adan enichumi ohu he hiawo eje waba ina anyesi nichumi o mohu onyangam yibami ke ekudomi ke eblonya toto enkra eji dangbeli ablonyane atone eje popan ne dibliko bemio ekpe no fe no ko onge kopeji onge mangwamijio nyumujio jo. We have come for a district consultation, and consultation is about enhancing community participation in the operations of Radio Adan. We are now doing group work.
Adan Radio no, lo Dangme FM no, echoka wokepo agbi, kagun pe ne akawo pe ome, gabe fu ano.
Adani one na koji ne ida ka Dangme di ya block ya kunne me di anu no ne e ya ga Dangme ne ke wa mi ko na bani waje na ba yi ko ke ha e lo ma bani no
iyo me nyanga no ko ne ma binyu mo melo abino ko nge no ye mi block ya to tue ne abike iyo mene kanya denga heke
Formerly, our women feel shy to talk, even in their homes, but gradually with their education on air, they now feel proud of speaking.
Mama mi menu ake wa ni agbenge Radio Adan wa ya to mi. Se wa ku si mi blo lo to e me le blo. Ke ibi oro di lewe ta bi yo mu ni bo. E ma de ne ni mo bi o so ko bele ma de. Lo amole wa mo we wa ni ja cho so yo me ade to. Lo sa na wa ke. Wa ni mo wa ni mo. Lo mo bi lo. Lo ne mo bi. E mo bi na bi nye no mo di.
Radio Adan e blonya to nene wa na ji nge wa ko si blo lo to wa na kan lo wa ma de ke lo no ho ni na fun mi no pa ka su gbogbo na fo le kru nge wa ni tu ke Radio Adan e che wa patapata nene ji wa blonya me wa chon nge Radio Adan ko ne ni ne alim ye nge ike mo abuade le bowoja mo le bowoja ko wa ko ye awa so wa yi ko wa de mo ne
Radio Adan, apart from giving voice to the voiceless, is also very committed to the process of using dialogue for change. We are in the midst of social and cultural transformation. Whether Radio Adan is there or not, this social change will take place. Radio Adan's role is to help ensure that in the process of change, there will be some equity and that people are able to reflect on what the options are and to be able to make the most judicious, the wisest choices for themselves and for their communities.
Hengba fiaka ke ibengwe pago hinyane wabu fiamio mene amano metui. Hago nimbeli kusie Pomebo asigbe ne eje han lafaka ke enu ehowe ya bronya totio meje amafun enyohuo nge asigbe kopi enu jena ho amatwe nge asigbe kopi esin bime ewie bibi.
I lost a family, an auntie in the family. I came here just to announce funeral. We paid 161,000 for the 2 announcements. When you look at price, this one is reasonable.
Before Radio Adan came, and by then I was having almost 30 to 40 clients weekly. So as Radio Adan came, my clients reduced times 15 or 10.
Gongo Beta, you have to send to villages. Oh, Ada, the villages, so many villages. You pay transport, you pay Gongo, so it's more expensive than this. Sometimes Gongo don't hear. And the person is not in the house, he doesn't hear. They announce it at the time everybody is ready to hear. Exactly at 7, everybody is in the house to listen to radio announcement. Since they know that Mondays and Thursdays are for funeral announcement, mostly, they all sit down to listen.
I have 17 funeral announcements and 5 social and public announcements. Thursday is the busiest day. I would domke alweho kenge male mihayeka abinyumune aswole. Kofi Jani ne aleleka ni kweche poga isi bime inu kebi bime bago and the fully to pay ni adingla ha yukuo ya kusumi bronya tumiji amafu inu kuo soha ge Jani we big adan inu jena ho amatu le big ada magom ahla ami kemaha ni chumi fiamio mene wange ngegboko eno miu meji eno muni nyepeno ke twebumi.
We are working with trying to support the development of community radio stations apart from Liberia, in Kenya, in the Sudan, and there is more and more a call for support for other places.
I have been contracted by the UNMIL, United Nations Mission in Liberia, to do consultancy and facilitation and training of community radio stations in Liberia. Liberia has just gone through 14 years of war and civil strife. Community radio is about conflict prevention and management. In the national reconstruction and peace building efforts, we don't even have the public radio, which is the national radio, working in Liberia. We have been training for 2 weeks. We did 2 training sessions and the last one in Hapa. What we are doing in Liberia is to deepen their understanding of community radio. You are a journalist. Do you know that? Do you know that by working in a community radio station, you are a journalist? You don't know? You know. You are a journalist, but you are a special journalist. You have the additional responsibility of making sure that the culture of your people is also expressed in what you do. And so you are one of the community radio managers said, I didn't know that the radio station is for the community. I was thinking if I just organize programs and broadcast, they will listen. So it will be community radio. But now they know that before it is community radio, the people themselves must participate. The things come. You don't keep them to yourself, but you turn them over to the community by being open and democratic.
Freedom of the press was not always the case in Liberia. So I am delighted to see so many Liberian journalists here today and everywhere I have been since my arrival. You play a crucial role in the democratic process. I hope you will play that role in a responsible manner with commitment, fairness, and objectivity.
The structures you see here, then you have the main building, which is the station, and then the antenna up there. It is the on-air studio. We have created a glass window specifically to demystify radio, to make radio just a tool, an ordinary thing. Okay? Before this place
In one of the evaluations we did of Radio Ada at one of the districts, when we raised the hypothetical question, what would happen if Radio Ada were to be taken away from you? First of all, there was a big uproar, and the people started shouting, no, you can't take Radio Ada away from us. Is Radio Ada gender sensitive? But when we were able to calm them down and say, it is a hypothetical question. No one will take Radio Ada away from you. But still, let us look at the question, what would happen? There were many responses, but one woman gave a very passionate response, which seemed to sum it all. And she said, if you take Radio Ada away from us, we would lose our language, we would lose our culture, we would lose who we are.
voice of the Dangme people, Radio Adan,
Go check station. Oh, as you minister. Only can read the Dangme like
Radio Adan.